We all hear about the promise of Web3, right? This idea of a decentralized, user-owned internet. It's a massive leap forward. But for all its potential, it's kind of being held back by this one huge roadblock. It's just not that easy to use. So what's really standing in the way of the future? And look, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. You hear about the incredible power of blockchain and these decentralized apps, but then you actually try to use them and, well, the experience can be confusing, a little intimidating, and sometimes, let's be honest, downright scary. So how do we possibly fix that? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. First, we'll unpack the big adoption problem itself. Then, we'll explore how design can actually be the bridge to building trust. We'll look at it in action with real products, understand why this is such a game changer for business, and finally, we'll connect all the dots and see how we can unlock Web3 for, everyone. Okay, so let's dive right into the core issue here. Right now, there is this massive gap between the incredible promise of Web3 and the, let's say, frustrating reality that most users are facing. So on one side, you've got these revolutionary ideas. You own your data, the system is decentralized, everything's transparent. Amazing stuff. But the reality for most people trying to jump in, it's a world of confusing jargon, really complex steps, and that constant fear that if you make just one wrong click, you could lose everything. That right there is the friction that's stopping mass adoption in its tracks. So how do we bridge that gap? Well, the answer isn't just more powerful technology, it's better design. It's all about moving from that complexity to real clarity. And this is exactly where Web3 UX design comes into play. You can think of it as the art of translating all that powerful, super complex blockchain tech into experiences that are simple, that feel safe, and are genuinely intuitive. It's about designing for human confidence, not just for the technology. But hey, this is more than just theory, right? Let's move from the what to the how, and take a look at the way smart design is already fixing some of the most common Web3 products out there. First up, crypto wallets. For so many people, this is the front door to Web3, and honestly, it's often where the confusion begins. It's a pretty critical first impression. Good design tackles this head-on. It simplifies things like sending and receiving funds, so you feel confident, not second-guessing every single step. It builds trust by making security features obvious and easy to understand. It guides brand new users through the setup without totally overwhelming them. And maybe most importantly, if something does go wrong, it gives you a clear explanation, not just some cryptic error code. Now, let's move on to dApps, or decentralized apps. Because this isn't just about managing your money. It's about using all sorts of decentralized services for everything from finance to social media. So here, design makes the interfaces feel familiar, comfortable, even if the tech behind them is totally new. It makes sure that when you're interacting with something called a smart contract, which is basically just an automated agreement, you actually understand what you're approving. It creates these smooth, logical flows so you don't get lost. And it makes sure the whole experience feels consistent, whether you're on your phone or your desktop. And this kind of clarity doesn't just happen by accident. It follows a really proven process. It all starts with discovery, just figuring out what users actually need. Then comes strategy, where all that research is used to map out the simplest possible path for the user. Only then do you get to the fun part, design and prototyping, creating the look and feel. And finally, and this is absolutely critical, it's all put through testing with real people to iron out any and all confusion before it ever goes live. So here's the crucial point. Making things easy to use isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It creates this massive ripple effect that delivers real, tangible value to the business. I mean, think about it. When products are easy to use, adoption just happens faster. When design inspires trust, users feel secure enough to actually use the product. Clear user journeys mean fewer people get frustrated and just give up. And all of that leads directly to a higher return on investment and builds a solid foundation that can grow as a product scales. And the impact here, it's just staggering. Companies that really prioritize a user-focused design approach see incredible results, like a 99% client retention rate. That's not just a number on a slide. It's absolute proof that making your users' lives easier is the best business strategy you can have. And hey, don't just take my word for it. You can hear it directly from the founders in this space. Here's a quote from Jason, the CEO of Parcan. "We started with the UI/UX first,
And they delivered a quality solution which was good to present in front of investors and stable to go to market live. See? Starting with design isn't a cost, it's an investment that builds confidence and validates the whole product.
So let's bring it all together. What does this all really mean for the future of the internet? What's the big picture takeaway? Ultimately, it boils down to this. Technology, no matter how powerful it is only useful if people can actually use it. Good design is the translator. It's the bridge that turns all these abstract, complex blockchain ideas into simple, reliable tools that can become a real part of our everyday lives. Which leaves us with one final big question. We have the technology, we have the vision for a decentralized future. So is thoughtful, human-centered design the final key we need to unlock it all for everyone?